The long wait is just about over. Last-minute preparations are underway at Hollywood's Dolby Theater for tomorrow's 88th Academy Awards. So, who will be taking home an Oscar and who will leave empty-handed? And how will the Academy handle the simmering issue of diversity in Hollywood? Here with some answers and predictions is Matt Singer, managing editor and film critic for the website ScreenCrush.com. Matt, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's talk about diversity first,
Sure.
because this has been such a contentious issue and something that certainly the Twitterverse, social media is really intent on focusing on. How do you think they're going to handle that this year?
Well, I think you're actually going to see probably more diversity amongst the presenters than the winners.
Right.
But it's really going to come down to Chris Rock's monologue. I think a lot of people are looking to that and waiting to see how does he handle it. Hosting the Oscars is already maybe the most thankless gig in Hollywood. And there's all this, I think, extra pressure this year. You know, you're expecting him to be funny, but also, I don't know, I think people are looking to him to make a statement. I mean, that's a tough job, but I'm just glad he's the guy who was chosen this year. I don't think I would have wanted to see the Oscar monologue about this from, like, James Franco and Anne Hathaway. Chris Rock, I'm much more excited to see how he addresses it.
Yes, a more appropriate choice.
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at the Oscar categories themselves, and let's start with the big one, Best Picture. Who are the front runners here?
I think it's a three-film race here. You've got Spotlight, which is about the journalists who uncovered the sex abuse scandal in the Catholic Church. You have The Big Short, which is about these investors who profited from the economic collapse in 2008. And you have The Revenant, which is about Leonardo DiCaprio crawling through the snow and grunting for 3 hours while he tries to kill Tom Hardy. And guess which one I think is going to win?
You think The Revenant is really going to win?
I do. I think at first people were really looking at Spotlight.
Yes.
And I think what people kind of looked at there was, well, it's a great movie, but it's subtle, it's subdued. It doesn't have the panache of a movie like The Revenant. You're seeing here these beautiful images. And with The Big Short, a lot of people were saying it was going to win, but it's a comedy. Comedies never do well at the Oscars.
It's a serious comedy.
It is, yeah, true, but it's also a comedy. The Revenant is serious with a capital S. It is art with a capital A, R, and T. There are no jokes in it at all. It is important filmmaking, and I think that's probably why it's going to walk away with it.
All right, so let's move on now to Best Actor. You've already said Leo DiCaprio, so you think this is his to lose?
I really think it's his to lose. Of all the categories, I think this is probably the one that's the most of a runaway. I think Leonardo DiCaprio, for sure. A guy everybody likes, even if you don't like The Revenant that much. I don't know if you can tell how I feel about it, but even if you're not a huge fan of it, I think everyone's a big fan of Leonardo DiCaprio. He's a fantastic actor, and you certainly can't fault the effort here that he put in.
And he falls into the It's About Time category.
Absolutely.
Right.
He's a guy who's never won an Oscar. He's a fabulous actor. Everyone loves him. It's not a strong category either. There's not like a guy you can go look at it and say, oh, this was an incredible performance we're going to talk about for 50 years. I think it's him.
Let's look at Best Actress, because, again, Room's Brie Larson seems to be a lot of people
the front runner. Yeah. And of all the movies this year, Room is the one, when I tell people about it, they seem the most nervous to go see. Oh, it sounds too dark, too depressing. And it's an intense film, for sure. But I think, like the reason that it's not so depressing, so dark, is Brie Larson. Is you see this movie, you see her performance and the love that she has, her character, for her son and what she'll do for him in these incredible situations is incredible. It's a fabulous performance. I have no problem with her winning whatsoever.
All right, another competitive category, Best Director. So, again, The Revenant, okay? Is that what you're thinking?
It's the most directed movie of the year, I would say. Is that something that we can give the award for? Again, I loved Spotlight, and I think Tom McCarthy did a fabulous job directing it. But if you look at the clips, if you look at the movies side by side, you say, well, which is the one? We've already seen these incredible images from the movie. You just go, yes, this is good directing. Incredible light and framing and everything about it. It's just the lengths that they went to. It was so difficult to make. I kind of want to vote against it, but I have a hard time betting against it.
In Best Supporting Actor, Sylvester Stallone is the sentimental favorite. Is he the odds-on winner at this point?
I think so. For the reason that he is the sentimental favorite. Another sort of he's due lifetime achievement sort of thing, and also a really great performance. I think people really loved Sylvester Stallone in Creed, and I count myself in that category. If there's an upset here, maybe you might see Mark Rylance. I think Bridge of Spies was a fabulous movie, and he was great in it. He was stealing scenes from Tom Hanks, which is not easy to do. But I think Sylvester Stallone, it's such an incredible story. The story around the story is good enough for its own movie.
All right, Best Supporting Actress, competitive this year.
This is maybe
Also-
the most competitive
Yeah.
category.
Also
Yeah.
competitive. I like Alicia Vikander here, another young actress, very talented. I loved Rooney Mara and Carol, too. I'm looking at her name and going, you know, if I had a vote, she would get it. But Alicia Vikander was really wonderful. The role she's playing there is very much, I think, has become kind of a cliche. The long-suffering wife of a trailblazer is something we see in a lot of these Oscar movies. But she made it real. She made that character flesh and blood.
The Razzies are tonight. Worst film of the year will go to.
I'd say it's a coin flip between Fantastic Four and Pixels, the worst superhero movie of the last couple of years, the worst Adam Sandler movie of the last couple of years. And given the competition for both of those categories,
I was going to say the worst Adam Sandler movie. Now that's an achievement.
that is an achievement.
All right, Matt
worthy
Singer.
of a Razzie.
Thank you so much.